HEYO GUYS and welcome back. Last time in my video about best animes that are coming up this year, I mentioned the legendary title Berserk. So I decided to make a short video to tell you what I think about the manga and introduce the people who are new to Berserk, a little bit more to its story and all. Berserk is a Japanese dark fantasy manga series written and illustrated by Kentaro Miura. Set in a medieval Europe-inspired dark fantasy world, it has been organized into 37 volumes. There is also an anime adaptation that isn't that good, but the other movies are interesting and try a little bit more to retranscribe the manga spirit. Both the manga and anime are noted for their use of heavy violence and gore content, but today we're only gonna talk about the manga, which is 10 times better. The series started in 1989 and is still ongoing, and guys, we're talking about the best seinen ever, or probably the best manga just after Dragon Ball. Yeah, it is that awesome. And actually, let me tell you something. When I was young, my uncle bought us, me and my cousin, a video game called Berserk. Then I thought it was shit and didn't even know it was adapted from a manga. And years after that, I saw some Berserk images online and still thought that it sucked. But when I dived into the manga, something else happened. It was like finding the One Piece. I found the manga equivalent for One Piece. I literally was amazed by this masterpiece in the way that you feel the violence of this world and what happens to the hero. So let's stop this and get into the real video. First off, what is Berserk? Berserk is the story of Guts, a lone mercenary who travels in a world full of despair, violence, and where death and sadness are daily things. So as I said, it is the story of this mercenary who cuts through flesh like a knife cuts through butter, and he is known as the Black Swordsman. A fearsome guy who is known throughout the country as one of the strongest soldiers ever. Fighting and slaying monsters are his warms up. It tells us also how he joins the band of the Hawks, the strongest liberation army which keep winning more and more battles, then get known by the royalties. Actually, the story is set in a dark fantasy world where some kind of demons called apostles keep following Guts, making his daily life a real nightmare. So yeah, definitely Berserk's world is a world where the characters are torn between light and darkness, hope and despair, love and hate. And the dramatic temper of this manga is gonna make you see its real value and why many believe that it's the best manga ever. So this is all to say about the story in order to avoid spoiling you, and let's move on to other parts and the other aspects of this masterpiece. Guys, now let's talk about the characters. Keep calm, cause Guts is the most badass character ever. I already said this in a previous video and I repeat it. Whenever this guy walks out of the dark, you know demons are gonna be slain. And that shit's about to get real. He's so classy, so charismatic that after reading Berserk you're gonna think that he's the most well-written character ever. He also has a deep personality after all, what he has endured in his sad past, which I let you guys discover, and that has made him the way he is. He isn't like the other characters that you can see anywhere else. He has that aura that makes him really unique in his own way. Casca is also very interesting cause, let's say this guys, in general female characters are not that well developed when compared to male ones, but in Berserk they are developed equally, or actually that's what I think, and I think it's a good thing. And there's also Griffith, the other main character. He's also great and his story is really good. And the apostles are also demonic looking beasts. They are deformed, ugly and weird looking. They make Guts struggle harder and harder, and you really feel like there is a persistent danger and that the characters can die at any moment. Cause yeah, I forgot to mention it, but in Berserk there are no shitty power-ups that boost the character, what will not make any sense. That's all for the characters, and once again there's no character more badass than Guts. Now for the final point, the drawings. And what drawings, guys? I dare you to find any manga that is more beautiful than Miura's art. And they are extremely perfect because he said that he often restarted drawing all the pages for small detail. He is a perfectionist, so the drawings of Berserk are just beyond what you can find nowadays. The contrast, the brightness, everything is just on point. It's simple. When you read Berserk, you focus really on the drawings and the detail that Miura engraves his pages with. So yeah, the drawings are just fabulous. So, as a verdict, Berserk is near perfection on every point and is one of the mangas that you must urge to read so that you can also know what manga awesomeness means. And I think that's all for this first manga story. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, tell me what you think about this new concept, and subscribe to not miss any of my upcoming content. Sayonara!